What's up guys? So before we start this tutorial, I'm just going to make a few changes to our About Me page. As you can see, within our paragraphs, I've added one or two EM elements and one or two strong elements here. If you don't know what they are, you gotta go check out my XHTML tutorials and I'll tell you all about them in those tutorials. But if you're watching these CSS tutorials, you more than likely know what these are, so no point in me explaining them. Right, let's move on. So I've added them in, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take out this font style italic for the paragraph here, just because I was only using it to show you, to give you an example of it, just to teach you it. I don't actually want to use it in this page, right? I don't want my whole paragraphs being italic, as nobody would, right? So I'm taking that out just to keep with the flow here. So now when I save this, now I open this up in the browser, as you can see all my text is bold because I have it font weight bold, and then you'll be able to see that you can see in italic here my EM elements. It's hard to see, but here's one here. As you can see, it's italic, but the strong elements, Jesus, they're flipping, you know, I mean, they're there's no way of knowing the strong elements, so there's not really any emphasis on the strong elements because the whole text, the whole paragraph is bold, so the strong element doesn't really have any value anymore. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually make all my strong elements italic. That way they'll stand out a little bit. So I'll show you what I'll do. So what I want to do is, so I'll show you. I'm going to do this by you doing what I think it's called descendant selectors. Basically, let's say I had strong elements all over the page, but I just want to pick the strong elements that are within my paragraph elements. Well, then I'd say come down, make a new one here, new selector here, and it would be P. So I'm selecting P, and then I'm going to say strong. So now what this is doing, of course you have the curly brackets there, right? And you put your value in there, which I'll do in 1 second. Just explain this here. So I have P up here. When I select P, I'm only selecting P. So I'm actually, so this here, what I'm doing here is then the style for the P elements. But here I'm selecting P, but I'm not giving this style to P. I'm giving this style only to, I'm being specific to the strong elements that are within the P elements. So the strong elements, like this strong element here, that is within the P element. You understand that? Right, well, it's not too much to it, but that's basically it. So now I'm gonna give these strong elements a font style of italic. Right, I want to actually make another strong element here, just in case you can't see it. Strong. So strong. So this is a strong element within the P element. And if I have another strong element down here, let's make another one down here. Another strong element down here. This is another strong element that's within a P element. Alright, and these are now going to be italic. So I'll save this and I'll show you it in the web browser. And there you go. You see this here is italic. This is actually not an EM tag, it's a strong element. So what a strong element does is just makes it bold. but if it's within a paragraph of all of which all the text in the paragraph is bold, it's not going to stand out. So I'm going to use font style italic on the strong elements within the P elements to make them stand out, as you can see them standing out here. So that's okay. So now you know font family, font size, font weight, font style, and then of course font variant. That's really a lot to know. It's really good to know. Like, that's, for the time being, that's really what you're going to be using. So make sure you learn all these. Make sure you take them all in. Right, I'm just gonna show you a little cool little shortcut that you will be using, that I use and everybody uses. Right, you see the font things here. We have three of them here for the H1 elements. We have font size, we have font family, and we have font variant, and we have them on different lines. A little shortcut would be just to use this. Take them out and just use font, just font on its own, right? It's like a shortcut. And basically how you use this, right, you put your font size, which was, it was what, 3 EM, and then a space, and just also make sure, just when you have a measurement like EM or pixel or percentage or whatever, just make sure there's no space within the measurement and the actual measurement value. So make sure it's all right beside each other, you know, no space or anything like that. But then, so you have your font size, then you have a space, and then you have the font family, which is Georgia. Alright, so you have them two, and now we can put all the values, the font values, in before these, just as long as we have the second last one being the font size and the last one being the font family. The rest of them can go in any order. So I'll show you what we had. We had font variant small caps, so small caps, and then we have another one. What else did we have? I think that was it. I think that's all we had. Yeah, it was font variant small caps. Yeah, so the three of them. So then we have small caps, and you can put in, you know, you can also put in after this like italic or bold or whatever, you know, for font weight and font style. But we just want to have three of them here. And so now, you know, now you can see that we have them all in one little neat line, and it's much quicker to actually do, and it's much easier to manage as well. So just font, and then, you know, all the font values, whether it's font weight, font size, etc. But you just gotta remember that you have the font size and then the font family last. So font size second last, font family last, and then the rest of the font values can go in any order before these two. And then there you go. So learn that in. That's how you style your fonts. You also know how to do your colors now as well. So again, good progress.